Namaste people, I am Anmol Sarkar. So if you guys have seen my introduction video, you guys must have an idea about who I am and what I am trying to do and what this channel is all about. And if you have not seen that video for Facebook, I'll put the link in the comment section, and for YouTube in the description below. Please like my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook page, uh, so that I can come up with more such informative videos for you guys. So without wasting any further time, let's get straight down to today's topic as usual. So in last video, if you have watched my last video, you guys must have known that I was talking about how this GU Pope, an evangelist Indologist, was trying to decouple this Tamil tradition and Christianize Tirukural and erase the Hindu nature of Tirukural, and what is good he was trying to appropriate it to Christianity, and what is bad he tried to blame it on Hindu culture. So in today's video we will see how Shaivism, that is the Shaivism means people who are follow Lord Shiva and or Adi Yogi, or the Shaiva Siddhanta means the principles of Lord Shiva, or Lord Shiva, according to Shaivas, the Lord Shiva is the supreme personality. So how this Shaivism was mapped into Christianity, we shall go into that in great detail. Okay. So the attempts to co-opt Shaivism into Christianity was neither spontaneous nor natural responses, as we have said. It was all a planned strategy, because the missionary who had discovered this beauty of this local spiritual tradition, it was a strategy used by these colonial scholars. Only after Shaivite theologians effectively reverted the initial attacks on Shaivism. Means they tried to attack Shaivism and they got counter attack for it. So now, since they could not defeat Shaivism in a fair and square fight, so they started appropriating it to the Christianity, the grand old strategy of evangelists. In their very first encounter with Shaivism, the Protestant missionary scholars condemned Shaivism in the strongest words possible. For example, the American Missionary Seminary in Batikota, Sri Lanka, a fundamentalist Protestant group working among Tamils, used its Tamil English journal Morning Star in 1841 to attack Shaivites and Tamils as living in darkness. Okay, there is a passage from that Morning Star journal, or you can say as a magazine. There is nothing, it quotes, there is nothing in the peculiar doctrines and precepts of the Shiva religion that is adopted to improve man's moral character or fit him to be useful to his fellow men. If the world were to be converted into Shaiva faith, no one would expect any improvement in the morals or the happiness of men. Everyone might be as great as a liar, a cheat, an adulterer, an oppressive of poor, a covetous, as proud as he was before, without sullying the purity of his faith. That means he want to say those who are Shaivas, who believe in Lord Shiva, no matter he can be thief or what we say adulterer or murderer, but he can be a proud devotee of Lord Shiva. So that is how they appropriated Lord Shiva or Shaivism as an inferior religion. So the missionaries further claimed that this Shaivism was merely a creation of Brahmins, that it contains nothing of value and it shares nothing with Christianity. This attack on Shaivism proved to be counterproductive because it was too disrespectful towards such a tradition, and it was effectively countered by Sri Lankan Tamil Shaivite scholars such as Urumuga Navalar. Okay, the name is Urumuga Navalar. Therefore, they again changed the strategy to now when they cannot defeat you in the fair and square, they will try to steal it from you. The grand old strategy of this missionary. So they tried to appropriate Shaivism into Christianity. Whatever they thought was good, they appropriated into, they told that it is from Christianity, or it has a Christian context, and whatever bad they had, they blamed it on Hindu culture and told that it was myth and orthodox practices. That is what they give. Okay. So in Shaiva Siddhanta, the Shaiva Siddhantas emphasize the concept of a guru. Guru means a spiritual master in English words, simple English words. So these missionaries, okay, now for example, these missionaries tried to appropriate this concept of guru as Christ. So Christ was the guru for the Shaivas, they wanted to say that. Okay. He explained the importance to missionaries was Shaivism was disrespectfully projected as the earlier form of Tamil religion that shared common features with Christianity. Both Shaivism and Christianity had one common ground, that they believed in only one true God, that is one supreme reality. So this was in alignment with Buddhism and Jainism, that there is only one metaphysical unity. The Shaiva text gave importance to notion of Guru, as I said, which Pope equated with Christ. He wrote that the author of the text, okay, he also thought that it is his quote unquote, it is the words, also thought that it was gracious will of Shiva to assume humanity to come to the earth as a guru. He announced that this way of salvation was open to all classes of community. He also taught very emphatically the immorality of the released soul. It will be seen how very near in some not unimportant respects the Shaiva system approximates to Christianity. So they are trying to again approximate into Christianity. So this was the general idea how they tried to appropriate into Christianity and stuff. So this was it for today, guys. If you like my video, please share it, and till then enjoy this video and have a nice day. And in tomorrow's video we will see how this history of classic Tamil literature was decoupled from pan-India basis, and it was given appropriated into Christianity and stuff. This was all about the Shaiva Siddhanta. I just read a few quotes here and there. The overall strategy and what they were trying to do, I had explained in last video only. So I was just trying to give facts to you guys, that who wrote what and what was the counter for that and how they changed the strategy. So as usual, please enjoy this video and have a nice day.